Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. The IPL mini auction comes to an end. I'm Gargi Raut, and joining me for the show is Shomik Chakrabarti, Debashish Sen, and Bharat Ramraj. Now, let me take you back to July when Team Rev Sports spoke to Lalit Modi in London about the conception of the IPL. And he told us in detail how the tournament was designed to promote domestic young talent and how conscious of a decision that was. IPL and overnight stars are a match made in heaven, and tonight we saw two uncapped players, Prashant Veer and Karthik Sharma, going for 14.2 crores, which is a life changing amount. Shomik, I'll start with you. You have spoken to franchise insiders of CSK. You also know the behind the scenes of what went into the making of Prashant Veer. If we look back on tonight's auction, it has surely been a day for domestic talents. Yes, Cameron Green went for close to 25 crores, but Mangesh Yadav 5.2 crores, Karthik Sharma and Prashant Veer 14.2 crores, Akib Nabi 8.4, Mangesh Yadav 5.2, Tejasvi Dahiya 3 crores, Mukul Chaudhary 2.5 crores, Akshat Raghuvanshi 2.2, Salil Arora 1.5 crores. These are the real stories. But tell me about Prashant Veer.
Yeah, Gargi, you sort of nailed it in the sense. Let's see, uh, 24 crore for Cameron Green, but from the fans' perspective, from the Indian fans' perspective, it is for the franchises. They are building their team and they are doing that. That is fine, but their outlook towards the auction and Indian fans' outlook to it is the Indian Premier League, right? And Indian fans want stories about Indian cricket players. Cameron Green, whatever he is doing, that is that is the business of his respective franchise. For the fans, story is Prashant Veer. He is the story of this IPL. Karthik also is there, but he was the and he was the first to get there, and later Karthik joined him at the top. But given the background, given the backdrop, and given the background, the whole story becomes a human interest story. Gargi, I tell you, his father, and I have written a story. His father is a school teacher. His entire family went through a lot of hardship at a small village in Amethi, Uttar Pradesh, and his grandfather was he's basically a retired LIC employee, and his pension covered Prashant Veer's the cost of Prashant Veer's cricket journey. So from that, and he eventually was picked for under 19 Uttar Pradesh team. And then, while playing for Uttar Pradesh, he went to CSK trials. And there, CSK, there obviously they were monitoring him from the UP T20 thing. He was playing for Noida, and they were monitoring him from there. When they went to CSK trial, the first thing his coaches said, you have to focus on consistency. That is the key. You might have the biggest talent in the world, all the talent in the world, but unless you are consistent, I mean, you will not succeed. So that was the thing. And now he is going to MS Dhoni's Gurukul. Say 2008, the late great Shane Warne unearthed a rough diamond answering to the name of Ravindra Jadeja. And that rough diamond was polished by MS Dhoni at CSK. Now, the thought process behind the CSK to rope in Prashant Veer, and see, he had a clue, even during the trials, he had a clue that CSK will be coming for him at the auction. He was sort of confident because there were enough indications. Now, what happened? Um, at the they let go of Ravindra Jadeja. They needed a replacement. You don't have a like for like replacement for Ravindra Jadeja. So what do? You pick someone. You focus long term. This is a long term investment. He will not be like Ravindra Jadeja in 2026, but this is a long term investment. I spoke to Sajid Mir, UPCA member, and he told me the story of Prashant Veer about his cricket journey. And Stephen Fleming, he was asked about the changed philosophy or the changed outlook of CSK, because until last year CSK were called Dad's Army. Now he accepted, he admitted that yes, we needed to change. Cricket has evolved and we have to be in sync. We are a bit late. And it dawned on us mid season last term that we have to change. So we started to change our age profile. Ayush Matre, Dewald Brevis, Urbil Patel, and now this guy. You look at the core, there are youngsters, and there is the grand old man called MS Dhoni.
Absolutely. I think that was a great story that you gave us there. Bharat, I'll go to you next. Prashant Veer, Karthik Sharma, both bought by CSK at this point, clearly investing in young talents for the future. But what makes Prashant Veer and both Karthik Sharma so sought after by this particular franchise? Tell us about that.
Yes, Karthik Sharma, the thing with Karthik Sharma is, as I once noted, he can hit through covers, he can hit through extra cover against pace bowlers as well. If you look at a lot of youngsters coming through the ranks, a lot of modern day batters coming through the ranks, they have great bat speed. One, point two, they hit across the line, they stay deep in the crease, they hit across the line. But that is what you get with a lot of modern day young batters. But with Karthik Sharma, what he can do is he has good bat swing and hits a lot of shots through extra cover and cover. Even Mike Hessen once noted, I had once asked Mike Hessen in an interview, how do you scout young batters? And he basically said, those batters who are able to play through covers, loft through extra cover without really charging down the deck against pace bowlers, they have some talent. So I think that is what they would have likely seen in Karthik Sharma. I see Prashant Veer is someone who was quick through the air, quite quick through the air, and is someone little bit like Jadeja. I won't compare him. I won't say same to same because he doesn't get the kind of turn that Ravindra Jadeja gets at pace, and is someone who can hit a lot of shots to the onside. So they're basically seeing him as a long-term investment in terms of replacing Jadeja. And then obviously you have to also talk about Akib Nabi, this swing bowler. He swings it both ways.
We
I
will talk
happy
about
to
that. We'll talk
yeah,
about Akib and we'll
yeah.
get your detailed insight on it. So we'll save that answer for a little bit later. We're focusing on Karthik and Prashant for this round of questions. But Devashish, over to you now. Over to you now. Prashant is, a left arm spinner. He also is no muck with the bat. Karthik Sharma, on the other hand, is called a six hitting machine. But your thoughts when you think of, Shomik rightly pointed out that when you think of Prashant's story as well, it becomes a human interest story. And as a nation that is, always growing, we never stop looking out for that one confirmation of a success story. Rinku Singh inspires us so much. MS Dhoni inspires us so much. The stories of Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, diamonds in the rough, and IPL then bringing them onto the main stage. And look at them now. They're legends that Indian cricket cannot replace. But when you think of stories like that, Prashant and Karthik, this is just the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would just like to stress on the importance of the scouts. Means it is the scouts that travel all across the country and spot this talent. And so credit where it's due. Means obviously they are not, they don't come in the forefront, but they are the real, what to say? They are the real person who just go out there and spot the talents. And it is for the franchise to now groom them, and someone of the stature of Mahendra Singh Dhoni at the helm at CSK, I think it will be a great learning experience to be sharing that dressing room alongside the likes of Dhoni or Stephen Fleming, and they can only improve as a cricketer. Means I'm not saying it's too early to say that they will go on to make it big, but this is just the right step, and this is just the first step to stardom. Means obviously when you just go out there with that yellow jersey in front of the Chipak, in front of a packed in Chidambaram Stadium, means obviously that soaking in that pressure, and remember every season the Chennai Super Kings arrange a practice session which is attended by the fans. It's normally a full house. So actually this is what if they will feel that the charm of an IPL. And I think the credit where it's due. And now, if can they do it? Can they make it big? It is up to them. It is up to them. Means obviously, I think credit should be given to the Chennai Super Kings management that they went in all the way to get them in, spending 14.2 crores each. Means you aren't expected to spend so much of money on an uncapped player, but in this case, and not one. In this case, Chennai Super Kings has not invested in one player. They have invested in two players, spending 28.4 crores for two uncapped players. And they are 19 years old, 20 years old. So they are thinking about the long term. Means obviously, if there is a failure, means they can come back, they can bounce back in next year. So I think there's a lot of planning behind. And Sumikda rightly said, this Chennai Super King, even last season also, they were called Dad's Army. So I think there is a shift. There is a shift in their vision, and definitely they are a franchise now who are looking forward to investing in youngsters. Gargi.
And Gargi, one more thing. Chennai Super Kings have an advantage which the other nine franchises don't have. India Cements own 16 clubs in the Chennai League. So when the CSK scouts are going all over, I mean, they are traveling all over the India, attending different domestic matches. And if they spot a player, they have the advantage to bring him to the Chennai League, and nothing is better than match situations. You can watch a player at the nets what he has been doing, but match situations the pressure is entirely different. Be it a club match, be it a domestic match, I mean first class match, whatever match situation is different. So they have that advantage. Another thing about Karthik, why Karthik? Two things. Karthik is also a wicket keeper. They will groom him as a wicketkeeper. This is, in all likelihood, MS Dhoni's swan song as a player this year. This is his final year as a player in the IPL, in all likelihood. So now they need what Dhoni used to do. Now Dhoni is one of a kind. You will not get another Dhoni as a finisher. But what to do? You have to groom someone as a finisher, and they think this guy has that ability to develop into a good finisher. That is one thing. Dhoni's immediate replacement is Sanju Samson as a wicketkeeper batsman from the next season, not this 2026. 2026, I still expect Dhoni to keep and Sanju Samson as a fielder and he will bat at number 3. But now, when Dhoni will eventually call time on his career, Sanju Samson will take over as the number 1 wicketkeeper batsman. But this Karthik guy will be groomed. So Sanju Samson is 31-year-old. He doesn't have, I mean, in 4 years, his shelf life as a top level cricketer is maybe for another 4 or 5 years. And then what? This guy is a teenager. So you have this guy ready. So this is the thought process.
Absolutely. That seems like a very, very valid point that you have brought up, Shomik. Bharat, now on to Akib Nabi. Akib Nabi gets sold to
Delhi Capitals.
8.4 crores, Delhi Capitals, getting signed by Delhi Capitals. This is a bowler that we had been talking about for, let's say, the past 6 months leading up to the IPL mini auction. And finally, he gets his due. It's incredible to see a young bowler from Jammu and Kashmir, a very
Exactly.
a remote state. Sorry?
He's not exactly anywhere. No.
But he's playing for Jammu and Kashmir, which is not a big shot, state team. So it does matter where he's playing from. But once again, him getting an 8.5 crore bid, which is a life-changing amount for a young player. Your thoughts on what makes Aquib Nabi so special?
Yeah, I did take his interview, if you notice, in November. I had asked about his swing bowling skills. The one thing he surprisingly said was I thought he was more of an in swing bowler, but what he basically said was he tried to bowl more of in swing. That is when he lost outswing, and then he tried to bowl a little more of outswing, and then he started losing his in swing. So somewhere Krishna Kumar definitely helped him as a bowling coach. He also mentioned it to me. and that is how he has. I know Irfan Pathan before that, but Krishna Kumar has been a very good coach of Jammu and Kashmir, and he is the one I think who's helped him to swing it both ways. And now he can swing it both ways with skill. He swings it late. He can get old ball swing, so it's not just new ball swing. He can get reverse swing as well. And he's someone I've seen him in J&K T20 leagues, local leagues as well, and he's definitely improved his death overs bowling. He's not quick, he's not fast, but he's a very skillful bowler, and he can also wield the willow relatively well down the order. So I think these are his main skills. So if you're looking for Akib Nabi, you definitely have to think about his new ball skills, because he can swing it both ways and swing it late. There are certain bowlers who swing it, but this guy definitely gets late swing. I think that's his main forte.
Absolutely. There's a super chat here by Sarvesh Gaurav. He's saying, no wonder Smat will be preferred over Ranji. Shame. I don't understand where the shame part is coming from, Sarvesh, because this is a T20 domestic franchise league and SMAT is a T20 league. So, of course, SMAT will be, the basis of how teams or rather franchises measure new players or look for new players. That is exactly the format they will go for, because SMAT is a T20 format domestic league. So, I don't understand why you think that SMAT is being preferred over Ranji. It's not the case at all. I'm sure when it comes to Test cricket, it is Ranji Trophy that is looked after. But Devashish, let's talk about a few more names. Of course, we have Karthik and Prashant, and we've spoken about Aquib Nabi as well. But 23-year-old pace all-rounder Mangesh Yadav, Royal Challengers Bangalore went for him for 5.2 crores. Your thoughts on this story tonight?
Yeah, obviously, and the important thing is that he's an all-rounder. So that makes even more important in a format like this. So I think, and at one point of time, both Royal Challengers and Bengaluru and Sunrisers Hyderabad went big to get him. Yes, and I think obviously his biggest asset is, I was going through this doing a bit of research. His biggest asset has been bowling the Yorkers, which is a very, very valuable weapon to have in this format. So I think in all these uncapped players means by sharing the dressing rooms, they will only improve as a cricketer. Means, but the biggest step is that whether they have it in them or not. Gargi, this is a platform. In that interview, Lalit Modi did say that it is YPL is one of the best platform, but whether you can make it big or not, that depends on you. Means obviously to look after your body, to be fit, fully fit, obviously to be disciplined. How you groom yourself, it will take you forward. Means obviously it can be a make. There are so many cricketers, uncapped players who haven't made it big. I mean, when it comes to India, it's a big country. So I think herein lies the biggest challenge for someone like a Mangesh Yadav. Yes, hopefully, if he can make it big, that will be wonders for him.
Can I just add a
This
point
is,
on Mangesh?
this is the exactly same thing. This is exactly same thing that Stephen Fleming said today. He was asked about young players becoming overnight millionaires, 14 crore, 10 crore, whatever, 14 crore. So will they handle it? Because these days, the provocations, there is social media, everything. Stephen Fleming said, "See, at the end of the day, they need to keep in mind one thing, that they are here because of their skills, and they need to do justice to their skills. If they fail to do that, they will fall by wayside. One, you will, if you are, I mean, see, when you have 14 crore in the bank, a couple of generations are sorted, right? But that is, if you have the professional pride, if you want to improve as a player, if you want to go on and play for India, this is your stepping stone. This is just the foundation. This is just the stepping stone. You have to go further. You have just only started the journey, and now it's up to you which way you will choose.
Can I just add a point on
Yes,
Mangesh?
sir.
See, I think one more factor you have to look at with RCB is they have Yash Dayal. I don't have to go into the kind of cases that are going against Yash Dayal. So I believe they are also looking at him as a backup player. So that is a good thing that RCB have done, because even with Josh Hazelwood, they have picked Jacob Duffy because they believe he's in the tall, hit the deck pace bowler. So they're having some good backups. So that is why I think a left arm bowler style, and they have a backup in Mangesh as well.
Absolutely. And if our viewers, if you don't know much about Mangesh Yadav, he's a left arm pace bowling all rounder. He's from Madhya Pradesh and he has just made his T20 debut for the state in SMAT just 2 days ago. So you can see how much of a talent he is. He, this Tuesday he smashed a 28 of 12 uh, against Punjab at number 8 in the SMAT before he took the wickets of Prab Simran Singh and Anmol Preet Singh. So that's how good he is, and he is also the leading wicket taker in the Madhya Pradesh league. But Shomik, going forward now, other names that come up other names that have come up are Tejasvi Dahiya, who's gone to KKR for 3 crores. Mukul Chaudhary is one, and Akshat Raghuvanshi, who we spoke to this morning as well. And
You did
I
an
spoke.
interview. You did
Yes,
an
I did.
interview also.
I
But
did,
uh,
and
but Gargi, just before moving ahead, do you have any questions, any super chats or anything?
no, none.
None as of now. So we might move to the scouting aspect. We might move to the you see this proliferation of young Indian talents. Players becoming overnight millionaires. I mean, they are dealing in crores. This is down to very robust scouting system. So what used to happen? See, at the start of the IPL, and you can check in the future if you speak to Lalit Modi, he will tell you that scouting system was not that robust. So the focus was on the marquee players, the cap players mainly, and I mean, uncapped players. The majority of them were there just to make up the numbers. But eventually, the whole scouting system evolved, and Mumbai Indians started it. They appointed John Wright, former India coach, and former John Wright mined a diamond, answering to the name of Jasprit Bumrah. He mined a diamond, and he eventually he turned into the Kohinoor of Indian cricket. So that was the start, and eventually now the system is so robust. It is almost like European football, the English Premier League. In English Premier League, not in the English Premier League, rather in English football, during the old first divisions, what used to happen? I mean, churches used to be the main scouting points, right? The saints, the fathers, they used to go to football matches in different places, and they used to come up with feedbacks to the clubs. That was the start of the scouting in English football, European football. And now they have professional scouts, and you cannot even recognize them. Suppose at Ambedkar Stadium there is a football match, and someone is standing next to you. He could be a scout. You can't even recognize them. And this IPL scouting has almost moved into that territory. So this is the reason why you see the proliferation of so many talented young players.
Absolutely. And I asked this question to Akshat Raghuvanshi, I asked him, when you're going out to bat in the Madhya Pradesh League, when you're going out to bat in the SMAT, are you thinking about the fact that there's a scout sitting there? There's possibly a scout sitting out there that you might even not know about. And he said, look, when I go out to bat, it all disappears. I'm only focusing on the ball and the kind of cricket that I want to play. But when you come back, when you get out and you're back sitting in that dressing room, those thoughts start racing, and every single time in the back of your mind you're thinking about the scouts. Are they watching me? It's this whole nervousness that obviously young players must feel right now out there, because I heard Abhishek Nair as well during the WPL auction speaking about the fact that he had scouted a talent, a fast bowling, a pacer who was actually a tennis ball player. So one of the scouts from his team had spotted him during a random tennis tournament somewhere in the country, and they picked him up and made him a net bowler. So these are the kind of scouts that are out there. You could be playing anywhere and you could be picked up and you could be the next IPL star. Who knows?
Before you go to the next panelist, I give you one of the best scouting stories, and it is from Pakistan. Imran
I know
Khan
this.
was, you know,
Yeah.
na? Imran Khan was recovering from a knee injury, and he was watching a game. The game was being played at Gujranwala, and there was a raw young callow kid who was bowling quick. Imran took out his car from Zaman Park, drove for about an hour and a half, went there and told him the next day you were coming to the Pakistan nets. That player is Wakar Yunus. That is called scouting.
Absolutely. You never know where the next superstar might come out
But
from, but
I
um,
just want to
yeah.
reiterate the fact that now that there is so much money involved, and with these uncapped players, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, there needs to be some sort of what you said, a class. I, I cannot express in actually, but there should be a
Mhm.
class where you need to teach them. Means just not to, so that they keep their focus. See, this is means look at their struggles. Shomikda mentioned about that guy, the son of a school teacher. Mm, So I think once you get so much money, you there are so many instances, Gargi, you yourself is a cricketer, that you get lost out. Means you get lost out. You wear expensive sunglasses. You are spotted with expensive headphones. But yes, it's absolutely fair. But there has to be all the franchises. It should be mandatory by
Counseling.
BCCI to do some sort of means, so that they don't get spoiled, means with so much of money. Means their focus should be in. I am quite impressed with how the KKR manages. They have their own academy in Mumbai, so all these young players, they go to their academy during the off season and train under a coach, and that is how you can keep a check. You can keep a control and a check on the young players. I am not talking about an experienced players or or a guy who has played first class cricket, but for someone uncapped who has just started. You were mentioning just Mangesh Desai just made his debut couple of days back. So I think this is the perfect case to have some classes, so that they don't get spoiled away. Because if they are going to play for India, it is an asset for our country only. So I think they should be channelized in a proper way.
Fair point.
Gar,
See,
Garge, do you remember that Yuvraj Singh ad line? जब तक बल्ला चल रहा है सब तब तक सब ठीक है बल्ला ना चले तो वो
we'll we'll talk about that. But yes, Debashish means guidance and counseling is needed for younger players, which is a very fair point. Bharat, now coming over to you, let's talk about Sarfaraz Khan and Prithvi Shaw, both of them going for base. No, I think Prithvi Shaw went for base price. Sarfaraz Khan as well. To Sarfaraz Khan goes to CSK and Prithvi Shaw goes back to Delhi Capitals. What do you think of these two young players? Sarfaraz Khan has been proving himself over and over that he's not just a red ball player. On the other hand, Prithvi Shaw has been able to come back among runs in the smack this year.
Yes, Prithvi Shaw, I think, has tweaked his game. He himself, or not, one could see that he has tweaked his game. He's very much belonging now more to the addicts of batsmanship. So I think he has changed his game a little bit. That's what is helping him because he's definitely worked on his strength defense, and I think he's become a better player of pace bowling. So, and the chance for him to see where he go, how he goes, because he's definitely worked on his weight transfer. And as far as Safraz is concerned, I think he's definitely worked on his fitness. One can see that, everyone can see that. He's a very unorthodox type of player because he will stay leg side of the ball, try to manufacture room, hit a lot of shots to the offside, ramp it over the slip cordon over the wicket keeper. That's his style against fast bowling, which obviously like, sometimes it will the purists won't like it because they will tell that it doesn't have the technique, but it definitely has the kind of strokes that can irritate the opposition. So if he Safras has to play, then I think the coaching staff has to back him to the hilt because there would be some ungainly dismissals, and the critics would be gunning for him. So I hope that uh, franchise backs him to the hilt. I think that the Chennai Super Kings, whenever he plays, backs him to the hilt because otherwise it's going to be tough for him because he's a very unorthodox type of player.
Okay, so final couple of questions from the comment section, and then we can close
But
out the show.
if I may just add, if I may just
Yeah.
add about that Chennai Super Kings, since that Sarfaraz has been picked by Chennai Super Kings, I think it his biggest challenge will be to cement his place in that playing 11. With especially if you look at with the kind of their number 5 to 6 is sorted. I was just going through that batting order. Ruturaj Gaikwad, you have a Ayush Matre, Sanju Samson, Diwal Brevis, Matt Short, Shivam Dubey. So I think the biggest challenge for Sarfaraz will be to get into that playing 11 and keep his place in that playing 11. If
Mhm.
he that will be his biggest challenge, because this is kind of a make or break season. Means obviously he should be persistent with Indian team, but I think Sarfaraz Khan can make a statement in this IPL. I think that will somewhat pave the way to get back into that Indian side.
All right then. Our final comment, Sarvesh Gaurav has sent us another super chat. He's saying he's referring to his old super chat about Smat being preferred over Ranji. He's clarifying that he meant that all young players will now prefer Smat over Ranji because of money. What happens to the future of Indian Test cricket? I think this is a conversation we have had multiple times, Shomik. Boria has also multiple times mentioned that if you really want India's Test future to look bright, why not go ahead and go out there and give your Ranji players a much higher amount of monies to, sort of so that players start preferring red ball cricket as well and don't get lost in the system. But Shomik, your thoughts on this, and then we can close the show.
Uh, it's part of the. I will take this question first, and before you sign off, I will go to the Sarfraz Khan's subplot. There is a subplot to it. I will go to that also. But the thing is that if someone is coming from right cricket culture, he will always prioritize Test cricket. After winning the IPL for the first time, after 17 years of wait, Virat Kohli um, at the post-match presentation said, Test cricket, listen, it's six level above this. Virat Kohli said. So if someone is idealizing Virat Kohli, and his idol is saying this, suppose in Bombay, I can tell you from the Bombay Maidans, the culture is that there would be the occasional breakaways, but 70% of the kids are taught in a way, the Bombay school culture teaches them in a way that Test cricket is the holy grail. Whatever you do, but then again, this is instant money. A first class cricketer maybe will not be able to earn 14 crore throughout his career, and this guy is earning in one season. So uh, it is about priority, but then again, I think something needs to be done to ensure that first class cricketer BCCI is paying them handsomely. But I think it needs to increase further. And coming about Sarfaraz, two things. One is that Prithvi Shaw has gone back to Delhi Capitals. One of the reasons is that Saurabh Ganguly likes him. Saurabh Ganguly likes his cricket. That is very important. Saurabh Ganguly rates his talent. That is very
And he was
important.
also there in Abu Dhabi today.
Auction. Yeah. So Saurabh Ganguly rates his talent. That is the reason. Basically, that is the reason why he has gone back. As far as Sarfraz, close to midnight yesterday, wrote the story that Sarfraz is returning to IPL, and it has happened. Um, Even during the first round, he went unsold. I was confident that he would be picked. Now, coming to the subplot, someone who has been discarded by Gautam Gambhir is going to MS Dhoni's Gurukul, MS Dhoni's table. How about that for a subplot? Given the backdrop, Dhoni versus Gautam Gambhir, how about that for a subplot? A Gautam Gambhir discard is going to MS Dhoni's school, and if he smashes it at the IPL, uh, spicy.
Spicy indeed, and this is going to be one auction, not auction. This is going to be one season to watch out for, especially with the influx of young domestic talent that we've seen now. We want to wait and watch what new they can bring to the table, and of course, they'll be itching to get a chance in that playing 11. But thank you so much. It's been a long day, but it's been so fun joining on these shows with you. Thank you, Debashish, Bharat, and Shomik, and to everyone who's watching us. Tomorrow, we go into the dissection, we go into the post mortems of the auction strategies. So don't forget to join us then. We'll be back very soon. Thank you.